We'll have the final presentation of this part presented by Ingmārs Pūķis, the Marketing and Business Development Vice President of the Latvian Mobile Telephone Innovation and Digitalization, the story of Latvia's experience.
Hello, thank you for announcing me, and I'll continue where the previous speaker ended, meaning that we have to stop and think for a while what we are doing. And speaking about innovations, well, you can make me speak, invite to speak me about anything, but I will always speak about innovations. So we are always speaking about tomorrow, but we can also speak about the day before, yesterday, or 150 years ago. But quality and powerful engineering science has always been present here in Latvia. And our positions are rather good. So this thinking could be directed towards our next generation and our generation of how could we continue the engineering and technical matters that we have inherited from our previous generations. So this is an aspect you as employers can also consider, because Latvian companies and not the Latvian government is the reason why we are investing less in innovations. But we'll start with some classical information about our experience. I show this every time, and I will continue doing this in spite of everything. So not only 150 years, but also some certain activities in the market prove that the Latvian user is among the most active users of mobile internet. So we have surpassed the Finns, which we also celebrated last year. And this is not a coincidence. This is a consequence to a dedicated decision when we chose to go upward the stream. So 1 megabyte you use, and speaking from the point of view of the cost, if we leave this concept and if we rebuild the price offer, and where we understood that Wi-Fi, which is used by companies to offer their customers free of charge, and maybe we should redraw some reports and surveys. But for several years already, we are shifting from 4G to 5G transformation. So 2G and other technologies were some civil and well-understandable technologies, but the 5G network is not for humans, it is for robots. And no one is actually ready for that. And neither are these robots ready at once, and not always the customers know what they should order. There is a bit of space knowledge there about sensors and issues regarding network usage. But we are promising this, and we have been promising this for a long time already. Maybe you are bored of it. And whenever it is difficult, we use this graph where you can see the high expectations, and then you can see, so on one axis we have the expectation, and on the other axis we have the time. So here I know what it will end with, and it is difficult for me to understand that we will be down there in 1 year. It has always been so, and today, emotionally speaking, I feel that this AI victory is inevitable. But now we are approaching this period of huge disappointment. So we are not afraid of anymore, and the amount of work we invest in 5G technologies has increased enormously. So some years later, the benefits this technology will provide us will be more visible. And this is the most fun part. We have invested 32 million euros in investment, so 200 populated places in Latvia. This is an old story, and you all know it. the basic problem is that you actually do not need this network because you already used all the benefits in the 4G. You just want to use internet, which is quite boring in a way. And what 5G technology promises us is difficult to sell and it is difficult to buy because it requires new skills. And the thing we are trying to train ourselves with and to grow is that we are trying to grow a completely new range of employees because recently we didn't have digital specialists for customers. We had digital specialists for ourselves so that we could transmit this network to you. But when we started speaking of how would we deal with robots and serve robots, then this big question emerged of how to do that. And partially we have managed to answer that. We have a great number of specialists who deal with augmented reality and virtual reality, with data analysis, with the building sensors and other exotic things that we couldn't have imagined a time ago. And of course, you could say that we have no clients, but actually we do. One is research customers, and one of such extraordinary adventures we experience is looking for friends at ministry, among new ventures, looking for friends in Europe where we build test environments. And during the last few years, we have managed to reorganize our research and development costs. We have invested large amounts of money together with European and NATO researchers. We have many nice test environments around Riga, both for our smart city and also Biķernieki. And some of you already know that we will be the first ones who will cover the Baltic Sea with 5G signals. And those silly questions why there is no 5G in Andrupene near the Latvian border with Russia, but there is in the sea. Well, I have no answers to those silly questions, unfortunately. But whenever you start studying a new topic, you will have a new product. This is not a Latvian thing because we like to plan first and then do. And also our motto is first you think, then you do. But everything is changing in the world, and so we started mobilization and digitalization. And for example, we found one market niche in terms of traffic, which and it appeared that AI solutions can improve traffic solutions without the permit or construction permit. We do not have to build anything. We do not need to install any communications. And this is a new solution that is catching traffic violations. So if you are in Graz in Austria, be careful. But also, we are authors of the digital twins. So if you are in Biķernieki, you can look at our digital competences. And this is also demanded by the Latvian manufacturers. And Latvian manufacturers are trying to digitalize their processes and modernize their processes more often. And now we are trying to, and now we can shift our knowledge from our test team to manufacturing. And also speaking about drones, that many of you use for surveying your territories. Together with our friends and with the support of our national local governments and researchers, we are making corridors for drones that will monitor the situation on the lake to ensure security there and safety there. So in 2 years, we will have a team that will be competent to offer such solutions on a commercial level. And one of our most successful experiments, which is also of the one of the oldest topics we have worked with, is the 5G defense test platform. And this can be used also by NATO, and now actually NATO is using the solutions offered by civil industry, and it appears that our ecosystem is smaller and more efficient, and we can do faster things than they can do in the USA. We can get Nokia and Ericsson and researchers under one roof in Ādaži here in Latvia, although the Americans, they have much more money, but they are too big to organize something like that. And so the Latvian digital competence is something that can be of importance also for NATO. That is why we have to stop and think what we are doing for a while. And maybe these are the notion of mission is something we have forgotten. And mission, not project, is something that costs a lot of money, but it is something that perpetuates you to do something. And we have had 3 missions. So this is my last slide. This is our offer. Where from such beautiful conferences and government working groups wherever we have been, there are 3 missions that we are guiding by today. And these are the important things for us today. So one is the Latvian energy independence, both in terms of the green and digital future. The other thing is modernization of defense capabilities. This is not only our national obligation, this is our obligation as employees, as employers, inhabitants, as population. And maybe it doesn't sound as good, but it is important that the third mission is to ensure and provide for knowledge and technology powered education and manufacturing. Maybe you will have all the chances to hire personnel that will help you to spot all the possibilities and opportunities, and this will require patience and investment, because we need time and skills to ensure that the next generation is capable of delivering what we expect from them. And this is what I wanted to conclude with, but also think and do. I'll suggest my colleagues that we should mix them up and say like do and think.